You are well. This fine day, Woden's Day, one of my favorite days. Wednesday. Where did I get Wednes? Any other word? Any other phrase? Combination of consonants and vowels? Wednesday. And you pronounce it Wednesday. Woden's Day. So much better. Demon Hunter Beru, aka Desmondu. Welcome, Desmondu-san, to painting. We still have a much painting to do this fine day. Libya, otherwise known as Libya, has become infested with fairies and trolls. You know, because Libya has so many forests, I've finally attracted some trolls and some fairies. The local Italian mafia, who daylight or moonlight as plumbers, you know, have shown up to deal with the fairies. Common Gaddafi propaganda is clearly visible on one of the walls. And a horrible-looking troll, fat, stubby-legged, yellow-toothed troll, is purchasing some lurid material from a local shopkeeper. Brother Scousbarrow, welcome to Paintingu. How are you this fine Woden's Day? Are you well? I need a sip. Ah, the glorious agua. Let us hope today that I do not drop the fan in the bucket. The female was furious with me. She's seen a look on her face, and I was like, I dropped the fan in the bucket today. And she's like, what? I was like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, no need to fret. Fan is fine. Tip top. Excellent. Good to hear. A day upon which to witness. I know. It's fucking like, what do you do on Wednesday? Like, do you know, like, did some dude called Nesbit get wedded? Like, there was a wedding. I don't know. Like, it's just so, even like Thursday, Monday, like the day of the moon. Like, why is the day of the moon the first day of the week? Tuesday. Like, it's fucking like it's just so funny to me when you actually look at life, the way everything's constructed, and the way it's all like apparently, allegedly, before we got here, like how things went. You know, all these stories. Like, I still think the funniest thing about the whole Jesus story is that like it is essentially a story about like there's probably a lot of people that would hear me talking about it like a story. How dare blasphemy! It's like shut up, like. But like as far as stories go, the story of Jesus Christ and like how that all goes, and like the climax of the story, how it ends, like whatever about the resurrection, but like it is essentially a story when you like if you just take it like a synopsis, like a blurb on the back of a book, like do you know what I mean? Like give you a fucking rundown of what happens to the old Jesus Christ. It's like there was once a man so good he performed miracles, healed people, fed them, provided knowledge and insights to moral growth and like being divine and shit. Like it's like, and what happened to him? They crucified him. Like, for his crimes. He was crucified. Like, on you, welcome to PEINTEINGU. I just think that's so fucking funny. Like, do you know, like, what does that tell you about like, and like there's like you get brought up like depending on where you're like mainly in the West or whatever. Like, although there is like some parts of China from what I hear that are like devoutly Christian and shit. Like, but like here in the West, when you're getting brought up, most cultures, you hear about this lad called Jesus and like all these wonderful things he did because he was the son of God and all this stuff. Like, and it's like, and Jesus was such a nice guy, he was so holy. Towards the end there, he was extra holy. But like, he was such a nice guy, Jesus. There was this blind guy cured his blindness. There was a guy who had a sick son, cured the son. A bunch of people with leprosy. Jesus had no bother hanging out with them and fucking like chilling with the niggas. People were hungry. He did awesome shit like vast amounts of multiplication just in the moment, just duped like he was playing fucking Oblivion, like he was playing Elder Scrolls, just duped a load of fish and bread and wine. It was said that consuming water perhaps was like, as intoxicating as drinking wine in this chap's presence. He was so divine, he was so good, so they crucified him. like, it's to me, it's one of the to me, it's one of the best, most comedic juxtapositions. Do you know what I mean? There once was a man who was so good. He did all these nice things to the people, for the people, and they'd fucking crucify. Like, imagine being a kid and like, do you know what I mean? And, like, you're hearing about like, there was all these stories. Like, like imagine it. Like when you really look back at like Hansel and Gretel. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how many stories was there of like, oh, you'll be a good boy now, or like, witch will put you in an oven, cook you alive, and eat you in a pie. Like, like don't stray too far now, or a fucking bog fucking monster will emerge from a fucking swamp like bush thing and snatch you and eat you alive. Like, be back before be back before nightfall, or things will kill you. It's just how fun. Like there's just so many things that we learn. Like what Santa Claus, Jesus Christ, like all these things. It's like, and I know Santa Claus isn't like there's no like horrible juxtaposition to Santa Claus unless you kind of look at it in the way that like the elves are slaves or some shit, like, which is always hilarious. Like, like Santa Claus is this like tyrannical fucking uh sweatshop runner. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, who did that? There was a few people that have done that spin on it, where like Santa Claus is this like whiskey drinking, cigar smoking fucking Don of of the Arctic or the fucking North Pole or whatever. And all the elves are like, these like tortured, downtrodden little magical slaves that he has like building all these toys and shit. Like, and fucking, it's so like that'd be like that'd be the Christmas movie that I'd watch. Like, is somebody figuring out how evil Santa Claus is and murdering the country. Like, uh, a legendary Tuesday was once Tuesday, but Wednesday outside of Woden eludes me. They say elude in Japu is erude. Morberu, welcome to PEINTEINGU. How are you? I am discussing my opinions on how funny the Jesus story is in a dark humor way. killed for crushing. The Jays were involved, to be fair. I know, like, that's it. Like, that's literally what it is. Like, it's like, he's giving away all our scams. He's pointing out that we're con men. He's, like, educating people on profound wisdom. What are we going to do about it? We're going to crucify him, of course. It's just so funny to me. Like that's the world that we live in. Like, you know, like that's the world that, like, for like how at least 2000 odd years, like, if we were to believe all the shit, like, you know, and then there's these people talking about that, like, they might have added 1,000 years to our calendar and all this shit, like, you know, but it's like it's been a while. It's been a minute, you know, where, like, many of us across the realm have adhered to certain stories as if they are true, you know. And, like, yeah, like, I could totally see that there was a guy called Jesus and he was doing all these good things. Like, I don't like. I do, I suppose, believe in miracles. I believe in miracles since he came along to PEINTEINGU. Um, what are you laughing at, Carlos? Don't you like my singing voice? Put that down, monkey. Um, I just find it so funny, like, all these fucking stories, like, it's just, like, no matter the triumph, you know, and then requisite trauma and, like, despair and shit, like, because you need that in a story, obviously, you know. But the Jesus one is a hilarious one because he's like, he crushes like a motherfucker, then gets killed for it, but then comes back, but then leaves conveniently. Do you know what I mean? Like, one would think that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you were Jesus, you'd stick around and, like, fix shit, or at least, like, now with your new found deity-like powers, one of them being, you know, resurrection slash immortality. Like, you know, like, how funny would it have been if he legit just strolled out of the cave butt naked with holes in his hands and his feet and all, like, and just, like, calm as a motherfucker, like a gangster, just strolls out of the cave and it's just like, who did it? Like, I can't remember shit. I like, the last thing I remember is, like, being, like, carrying that cross up that hill. I don't even remember being nailed to the cross. I was so delirious with the fucking blood loss and pain and shit like that. Like, so I want to know who's responsible for my crucifixion, and I want them brought before me. Like, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Like, like, imagine if that's what it meant. Was like, that's Jesus saying that, like, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Like, only me, only I, because they crucified the fuck out of me. Like, that would make sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, God's sitting there watching the whole thing go down and being like, they're not actually gonna do that, are they? Surely, like, you know, like, God looking around at the other angels and shit, being like, do you think? Do you think it's like? Surely they wouldn't. Like, come on, like, they're not gonna, like. Oh my God, they're going to. The idea of, oh my God, of God sitting there watching something and then going, oh my God, like, all the angels looking at and being like, was that a Freudian slip? Are you not the one? Like, how funny of a fucking cosmological uh conundrum storyline would that be? That, like, you wrote a story of, like, all the angels in heaven discover a conspiracy that God is not actually God. He's just pretending to be God, and there's a real God somewhere, but it's not him. And, like, all the remaining angels end up rebelling because it's like, this whole time, are you serious? And it's not even like Satan was right. Do you know what I mean? Like Satan's like, haha, I told you so. And all the angels are like, shut up, you. Like, This doesn't change our relationship. You're still a dickhead. Walked on water. That's some feet, pun intended. Yeah, just like that's some pair of feet. Like you just see a picture of Jesus, and he just has like these massive, wide feet. Like, and that's why he was able to walk on water. Like, do you ever see them little lizards? They're called basilisk lizards, and they have like webbing on their feet and all, and they're so small and light that they can legit like run on water and shit. It's- Imagine if that's what it was. Like Jesus was from Wales, because like everybody knows that Welsh people have webbed fingers. Like, shit. It's like, how do we know Jesus was Welsh? Because he walked on water. Like, like, what other possible reason could he possibly have for being able to walk on water? Jesus was clearly Welsh. Like, could you imagine bringing that argument to like a theological debate? Like, I hereby declare my theory that Jesus was Welsh. What proof do you have? You walked on water. It's not obvious. Oh, swell, I arrived in time for the crucifixion jokes. I was like, where's my fucking I have an old painting of three different Hitlers being crucified. I think I might have actually sent it to someone. I'm not sure. I might have it here. The Jesus road trip one was hilarious. If you like, for those who haven't seen this one, is a crocodile driving a purple, like, a little fucking lesbian car, and he's like, "We're going the wrong way," and Jesus is like, "Nigga, I am the way," and his hair is blowing in the face of the ghost of what's that nigga called? Crocodile Hunter? Was it Steve Austin or some shit? Steve Irwin? Steve Austin. What's that Stone Cold's name? Oh, crikey, Jesus, your hair smells gorgeous. This is definitely one of the funny ones. Like it's such the look at the state of the car. Like, don't get me wrong, it kind of like has that kind of motion blur to it and shit. Like the crocodile it literally looks like a fucking 4-year-old painted that. But then you read the fucking speech bubbles, and it's like, there's no way a 4-year-old. I pray a 4-year-old didn't paint that. Uh, Yeah, like Scousepar is an OG. Like, so like, Scousepar will remember most of the painting goos that I pull up on screen. Like, somebody said that they wanted this one, and I'm not surprised because it's hilarious. It's literally like there's literally nothing on it but a bear throwing a sheep into a campfire. There's no vanishing point. There's no background. There's no reference. No nothing. Like, some of the old ones are so funny. I get nostalgic every so often and start whipping out old painting goes. Like, who doesn't love who doesn't love Smoky Dick, the weeping smoking whale? I fucking love that one. Like that's what Garlos was. Garlos was a painting goo. I just cut him out. Everybody say hello to Garlos. Garlos reminds you to like and subscribe, you cunts. Garlos was a painting goo originally, and I just cut him out and slapped him on a paintbrush. I put a banner in his paws. Oh, part of me wants like all the props to be kind of like that. Like, but I have a bit of clay there, so I'm gonna make a monkey and a crow. But we'll see how it goes. They're probably gonna look shite, like, but that'll just make it funnier. Twaker Indy Barrow, welcome to paintingu. I'm looking for the paintingu where I crucified three different Hitlers. One of them's wearing a bra. It's hilarious looking. One of them's wearing a top hat. I'm not sure about the other one. Oh my god, yeah, fucking speaking of Santa Claus, there's like Santa Claus uh lawnmowering a Jew, and they're both just giving everyone the middle finger. Like The painting used to just be like random shit that I pulled out of the hat before I got the map. So like there was no backgrounds. It was just like stickers thrown on boards, like Satan in a trash can being fired out of a cannon at a Christian wall. That like the fat trucker bitch that tried to pull over and help the fucking truck full of chimpanzees that had crashed, and like one of them attacked her and like mauled her face. Like, oh, it's fucking hilarious. Where's the fucking? Oh my god, this is actually one of the most hilarious ones ever. This is death throwing a bumblebee at a nuclear missile. Like, like I just like, for I want to see that animated. Like it'd only be like 4 seconds long, but I think that would be so funny if you just had a picture of death and he just whips out a bumblebee and just throws it at a new like it's like some convoluted fucking you know metaphorical expression for nature trying to kill the military industrial complex. Oh, I still have this one. Hitler on the moon with his little squirt gun. That one always brings me joy. Where is it? I'm pretty sure that one's still here with the three Hitlers. Oh man, this is one of my favorite ones. Fucking blasphemous bunny ballistics. So we got a bunny painting a pentagram, and then its mouth is sewn shut. So it's like speak no evil, and then like see no evil is a bunny trying to assemble an AK-47 on a table in the background, and then hear no evil is a bunny rabbit on the ceiling, and he's got earplugs. This like, I couldn't stop laughing while I was painting this one. Like I was just like, this is fucking hilarious. Like that kind of reminds me of the Happy Tree Friends vibes. Like Griffo Bear, Griffo-san, welcome to paint. We're currently doing a nostalgic painting. It's always nice to once in a blue moon uh reflect. We must about reflect on the painting. Scouts will remember this one. This was supposed to be like a military dude, and he just turned into like some kind of freakish demon zombie thing. And I gave him a cowboy hat, and he's wielding some like a what do you call it, like a rack of dynamite, and evil Little Red Riding Hood is in the background, just thanking the Jews. And there's packets of fucking red Rizla fucking rolling skins, just like the demon dude is just like shitting them, and there's a dog pissing on him. Like these things used to be so much more like offensive in a mad way. Like Scouse has a lot of gay to pay away, you know. For the first like six painting goos that I ever did, Scouse was just like sitting there in the chat being like, "Put a big black cock on it." Like it was so fucking funny. Oh, like this was hilarious. An alien disassembling a Illuminati pyramid in a shed. I don't know why, but this one makes me laugh so fucking much. It's just your typical grey sledgehammering an Illuminati pyramid thing in a shed in the middle of nowhere. Like, they must not find it. Like, it must be destroyed before they discover its power. What's this one? Gates of Hell. Like, some of them are so bad. Like, it's like I was painting them with fucking like you know just cheap shitty paints that like didn't have like had fuck on. Square blimp ninja. Square blimp ninja. What was that? Like I was like, that's if I ever make a fucking a band with a lot of friends, that's gonna be the name of our band is Square Blimp Ninja. Like the idea of a submarine being fastened to a blimp balloon, but the blimp balloon is a cube. It's like Square Blimp Ninja. It's like it's a cube. Square Blimp Ninja. Oh fuck! There's so many of them. And I gave a few away, and then a few people paid for some. Like it's hilarious how it's all gone, like how it's all transpired. Goblin diving school. Where's the other one? Yeah, I think I might have actually gotten rid of the fucking. I think someone got the three crucified Hitlers. I did this one for fucking Rhino Bear. So fucking Rhino stealing a giant like ruby in a purple fucking car from like those kind of cartoonish cars from the 50s. Meep meep. Those kind of things. Like they've actually like the painting dudes have like fucking really come a long way. It's so funny. Like some of them are so shit. Korean Jesus. And like I tried to put like a flat Earth map inside the Halo. Korean Jesus makes me laugh. I can't like Korean Jesus makes me laugh so much. Like just somebody sneezes and he's like, "Bless you." Like, oh god, bringing back memories. These and it's so funny because it's not like it's that long ago. It's like maybe what, like maybe a year or two at this stage. But like it feels like such a long time because so much shit has happened. Like it's crazy. Like it's gonna be so funny to see like when I have Painting Goo episode like even like Painting Goo episode 100 even because like we're on like what this is like 78 or some shit part 6. So like by the time I even get to 100, it's gonna be mad. Like what one were you confused by, Demon Hunter Bear? Like I I should have been paying attention to the chat. I'm so confused by this one. Which one was it? That's hilarious. Where's the crazy Aussie hiding in a kangaroo pouch? Perhaps he fucking commented on one the other day and was like, I missed it. I'm sorry," or whatever. So I'm sure he'll be around. He'll be back. Oh God, was that painted in Griff's shed? None of the painting goos were painted in Griff's shed. Cautious Whore is a good band name. Oh, Cautious Whore is so fucking hilarious. Nagia Windpipe. Good metal band name. What the fuck? That's hilarious. Nagia Windpipe. Like, what? Oh, God. Right. Suppose it's time that we actually start doing some painting. Good. So, where's my thing? I shall descend. This is like legit one of my new favorite things about this. Observe. The top knot is now perfectly in frame for the intro music. Nagahaya. Nagahaya windpipe. I'm like, I don't get it. Is it supposed to make me laugh? Or is it like a reference to something? Regardless, it's time for painting. I have my bucket. I have my bitches. I have my royal rag. Let has gathered some chi. I have no idea what it means, just like how it rolls off the tongue. Oh, that's hilarious. What's that? Not a clue, but I love it. Like, that's how I felt about Rammstein when I first started listening to them. It's like, do 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 du hast. Like Nebensblicken. That's like, I have no idea what they're saying, but I love it. I love that shit. Oh, right. Timer to build the chi. Get the chi flowing. Get the goo flowing. Well, fairies to paint, plants to paint, trolls to paint, medals for Gaddafi. Lots to do for this painting goo. Conclusion. Bang 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 bang. I hope you are ready. I hope you have gathered sufficient chi for today's painting. If you haven't, that's on you. I cannot be held responsible for your lack of chi. Oh, what time is it? What time is it, you ask? It is the timer for painting goo. 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 It's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting you. It's painting me. It's painting goo. Painting you. Painting me. It's painting goo. Yup. Get it into you. Allow the chi to flow. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. It is especially important to allow chi to flow in wintertime, when limbs do be stiff and blood flows like glacier. Allow the shamisen to pluck the fibers of your spina, for it is timer for painting goo. I'm gonna ring the gong even though the mic doesn't pick it up. The gong's just for me now. Oh. If any of you had any honor, you would have paid for painting goo, and I could buy a mic for painting goo. Link in description if you have any honor. That's what I should just say from now on. If you have any honor, link in description. I have honor. What's this link in the description? Pay for painting goo if you have any honor. Oh God. Can't wait to have my monkey. I have to make my monkey. None of you have to make a monkey. But I have to make a monkey. But right now, I must have painting goo. White. The most important color. White. Oh, you squeegee bitch. It just spat out at me. Don't want to waste that. I hate wasting painting goo.
Ow, ow, ow.
I detest wasting painting goo. I'm gonna nip offside for a smoke back in 5. Backstone Barrow! Welcome to the solar yarmulke thing again. My solar yarmulke. Fine, buy a mic. Question mark? Buy a mic? Question mark. Fine, here's my money. Buy a mic? Like, you have reclaimed your honoru. Domo arigato for paying for paintingu. You and your family have a much honor. Hold on, I need to wipe this down. I need to wipe this bitch down. It's dirty. I need to wipe this filthy bitch down. You filthy bitch! She just squirted all over me. No warning. How inconsiderate. Don't you just hate that when a bitch just squirts all over you? Dirty defender. I know. That's why I make damn sure every time I fucking do promo videos for paintingu, I say it's not for kids. Occasionally, I am quite vulgar. Right. Time to ascend. Ascension. Ascension complete. There we go. Oh. I have like a bubble in my right ear. I'm gonna need like shoot a load of water in my ear or something. I'd love to be able to have a bath, but I suppose I'll just get the shower head and like. But I had like there's something in my ear the last like 3 days or something. And I can just like feel it when I speak and eat and like everything, and I can just feel this thing like every so often, you know, when you get like a not an ailment, but like a minor inconvenience in your body, like a twinge in your back or something, like, do you know what I mean? Or some like an infection in your eye, or like it's something random. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you picked it up at work or some shit, like, you know, every so often you just get one of those things, like fucking like a ingrown toenail or something, like something common, you know, like it's like I've had loads of different types of those things over my life up until now, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm actually getting weirdly like less of them, but like certain ones I'm getting more often. I think I'm just spending too much time like indoors and shit. But at the same time, I get out of the house like every day. It's weird how I'll try and sit down and figure out why certain things happen. And then I'm initially like, well, maybe I need to do this more. And then I look at like what I've been doing for months and I'm like, shit, I actually do lots of that. That's weird. Paintingu. Paintingu. Have a dart, eh? Uh-huh. Hit the right button. Don't just hit it. Slice the fuck out of it. I don't have a rack, but I do have chi. Rake or ruse honoru. Bing ding 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 ding. I don't. Who needs LSD? You're at a fucking baseball event, like with the peanuts, like, you know, LSD, cocaine, peanuts. Like, I came to glimpse the painting, but I stayed for the free LSD giveaway in the chat. Oh fuck! The eye roll emoji didn't work, and I'm glad. I don't care how you PEINTEINGU. I just care that you PEINTEINGU. It's PEINTEINGU. Well, you know how that's gone in the past. If you keep complaining about me not painting, I won't paint. I won't paint until somebody pays me, or until somebody fucking complains in a really funny way, or roasts me hard enough. Iron Man Bear gets close with just saying how much time it's been since I started painting. The best one was like an hour and a half. I had been on stream for an hour and a half, and I hadn't put a fucking lick of paint on the paper, like. And he just kept putting it in the chat. That's all he said, like. It's just 1 hour, 12 minutes. You know, like. Oh, it made me laugh so much. I do like doing that every now and again. Even if it's just me and Demon Hunter and Griff here, I like fucking with chat sometimes. Like, paint this! Go fuck yourself. I'm already playing, I'll paint it in a minute. It's like when Eminem, like, you know, does one of them fucking, like, there's like a horrible fucking roast rap. Like, what do they call them? When a rapper, like, like a diss track, but they're like right at the end of it, like after he says all that shit, like right at the end of it, is like, I'm just playing, you know, I love you. Like, I fucking, like, that's genius, especially in a legal sense, because it's like music and stuff, like, to be like, put it right at the end, just be like, I'm just playing, you know, I love you. Like, I know I said I'd drag you out in the forest and kill your ass with a chainsaw, but I love you. I just play. I'm getting into you. Must be nice to have a booble in your ear. No, it's fucking not. It's real annoying. It's one of those things, like, do you know what really, like, things that really get to me, like, really piss me off, is like high frequency noises and shit. Like I'm one of those fuckers, like I'll be in a room with someone, I'm like, can you hear that? And they're like, what? And I'm like, ringing. And because I look the way I look, I mean, like, generally people are like, are you okay, nigga? Like, I'm dealing with a pulled muscle in my neck. Was a dumbass with the weights. Oh no. I hate that shit. Like, anything to do with the neck or the back can just totally debilitate you for like days or weeks even. Every time you gotta move, every time you gotta do it, and like, you know, it's just there, and it's fucking horrible. Like, especially if it's a bad one, they can be so painful. Oh yeah. Das was ein guten Burpu. Right. Shall we dance with some demons? What in the name of God is that? From the creators of The Favourite and The Robster. Go fuck yourself.
I am Bella Baxter.
Yeah, this looks terrible. Fuck off. Initial impressions are dumpster fire. Now, demons need to be danced with, fairies need to be painted, and subsequently shotgunned. Right. It appears only one of you has honor today. We'll see if we can encourage you, mortals, to have some fucking honor and pay for painting. Paint. Let's get these bitches wet. Paint. Fairy, Shotgun. Where's my other bitches? I have misplaced bitches. I have misplaced some bitches. Oh, there we go. Okay. Painting Google. Right. Where did we leave off last time? Paint. Need some skin color. Some pale, feminine, magical skin color. Put some proper detail on these fairy bitches that have been embroiled. Anyone ever see Hard Boiled? I think that's what it's called. Fucking... I can't remember the director. I think it's John Woo. But it's that movie with fucking... What's his face? Chow Yun-fat. And like there's just like the whole movie is just like shootouts after shootouts. It was one of the movies that inspired the action scenes in the Matrix movies. It's just this like these crazy shootout scenes. Crazy gunfights. I haven't actually ever sat down to watch the whole thing. But I'd like to. Because what I did see of it was quite good. And I love going back and watching old movies. Like, part of me wants to watch the first RoboCop again. The first RoboCop's really good. Like, really fucking cool. Painting goo. Right, so we should give these... The purple fairy's looking a bit tan. I might make her a negress fairy. A fairy of the African female variety. And then the one in blue will make, like, you know, proper Nordic blonde bitch. And then the one in yellow, we can make, like, a purple-headed mohawk-wielding freak or something, like, you know. I'm probably going to put a fair bit of gore in, you know. Like, the purple bitch and the yellow bitch have been, you know, fairly well blasted by the looks of it. Like, Luigi's got a fucking Uzi, so, like, yellow bitch gonna get it. Purple bitch is, like, already folded up from the blast of the shotgun that's not there yet. We have a shotgun, but we have a no brast. I'm loving the, like, the way I pulled off the plant is deadly looking, if I do say so myself. Very satisfied. Also, very satisfied with the troll and the shopkeeper. It's almost adorable. So much to do. But as I said, we will begin with the fairies. Paint. 7 Reichs, 2 turds, and 1 Reich combinaroo. Well, there's only 6 people watching from what I can tell, so 7 Reichs, I'll fucking take that. Paint. I just realised that I gave this fairy the knee of a bird. Like, this bitch has a backwards facing leg. She's got a backwards facing knee. I know I meant to make them demonic, but fucking hell. Hold on a minute. Do you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'm not even gonna bother fixing that. We're going with it. This is like a proper demonic fairy. Bitch has fucking backwards facing knees. What the fuck? Her legs are all sorts of fucked up. That is hilarious looking. That bitch's legs are all fucked up. The shine can be a bitch sometimes, but there's not really anything I can do about that, I suppose. Maybe if people paid more for painting you, I could get better lighting equipment. Shame. Shame is how I will get you all to pay for painting. Painting. Goo. every so often one of you is going to get a free, like a free pass. Scouts always has a free pass. That will make some of you very jealous. Well, if you pay more for PEINTEINGU, you too could be like Scousu. PEINTEINGU, goo 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 goo. This bitch gonna be like fucking mad looking. PEINTEINGU, goo goo. Don't worry, Griff. I am still working on, like, I have it written down. It's on my list of things to do. To learn how to get people on the stream. I have not forgotten. Just have a lot of shit going on at the moment. We have another leak in the kitchen. There's some fucking news. Fairies are harpies. Farpies. They're farpies. Here on PEINTEINGU, we quite often create our own things. And this day, we've created the farpy. Vicious little bitches. Need more red in this, perhaps. Yes, there we go. This bitch is going to be tan. Well, not just tan. A little bit blick. There we go. Yeah, that should do. Maybe a little bit more blue. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Bitch got lifted over. It's a 12 gauge in your face, bitch. I still think that would be so fucking funny if, like, you had a real fucking, like, R-rated violent version of Mario and Luigi killing a load of fairies. Like, like, it'd just be so fucking fun. Yahoo! It's just like blowing fairies away. Like, just thinking of it makes me laugh so much. Like, it really, like, the simple shit brings me so much joy. Like, you know, kind of blessed in that sense that, like, I have this brilliant ability to just make myself laugh with my own imagination, and it's incredibly handy. Like, a lot of the time when I find myself in a bad mood, like, or just like down in the dumps or like stressed or shit like that, like, quite often I'll just think of something and I'll just like kind of laugh my way out of it. Like, it's incredibly useful. Humor, despite what people may think, should be taken more seriously, for it is powerful. Like, to me, it's blatantly obvious why the internet and certain companies have treated Owen in particular the way they've treated him. They're scared. He's a threat. In a time where deception and degeneracy are commonplace, he reminds people that things can be better, or at least different, you know? They fucking hate that. Like, they hate it. As far as they're concerned, that's really bad for business. And it does, it makes sense. Paint, paint! It makes sense that that's what their opinion would be. If you're them, you know? Paint, paint. It is, when I think about it, I consider it an honor. Not just to be a part of this community, but to be alive at this particular time. To be one of the few. For we are not many. We are few. We're not alone. There's a good few of us, but it's still few in comparison. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I have a lot of experience with being around a lot of people all the time. I think humans are best suited to small groups, you know? Black's looking a bit grey and it's not black enough. That's not enough black for me. It's also way too gooey. Needs more agua. That Chinese writing on your bandana looks like a woman pushing a pram past a lamppost. It's a Japanese! You're fool! But yeah, that's well spotted. It's quite funny. Painting. Google. Can't believe you said Chinese. How dare you! Painting. Google. Painting. Google. Paint, paint. Painting. Google. Okay. Still need the skin color for the last bit. You're gonna need to do some like designs on their wings as well, make them stand out. Lots to do. Lots to do. What will I do when I've got the black out? Suppose I could put more detail in Gaddafi's hair. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. Just checking out news like headlines there. Like I used to do that regularly. Just like skip along the headlines and like see what is allegedly happening in the world or whatever, what people are talking about and shit. And like I haven't done that in so long. Like I'm so out of the loop. I'm so out of touch with mainstream. And like obviously in a lot of ways that's a good thing. But like sometimes like I feel like I'm not like I don't know what's going on, you know? Because I'm so like I don't fucking care what they're doing. Like I'm doing my own thing, like I said, which is good for the most part. But sometimes, like this morning, I was kind of like hearing a lot of rumblings, like, do you know what I mean? Fucking like Yemen being attacked and all, and fucking like Iran is like missile striking Pakistan and all, and loads of shit going down. And then I seen this thing that, like, I seen one headline where I was like, Jesus, like it has nothing to do with geopolitics, right? Like those are my. I was about to say those are my favorite headlines, which is probably a horrible thing to say, but like those are the headlines I find most interesting and more like grounded in reality. Is just like random ones about like just individual people or some shit. Like this poor unfortunate bitch fucking drowned on our wedding day in Australia, and I just seen the headline. I was just like, Jesus Christ, like that makes me like I got well more of an emotional reaction out of me than like oh like bombing here or like missile strike here or like politics this or like fucking presidential election that or fucking technology this or this company is gone out of fucking business or like all of these things that like I couldn't give a flying fuck about, like and then I just see like newlywed drowns tragically, and I was just like, "Fuck, that's horrible." Like, so like I didn't even read the story because I didn't want to, But like it's been so long since I like had a look at the news that I was just like, "Oh, like I'll have a look at the news." And like I just like skipped past all the stuff that I was just like, yeah, whatever, don't care, yeah, don't care, whatever about, yeah, same usual politics, bullshit, fucking climate this, fucking laws, fucking, legislation, all this crap, blah, blah, like, fucking, like, newlywed drowns. And I was just like, well, fuck. Like, that's bad. Like, I think that's a good thing that, like, it takes something genuinely real and grounding and relatable to get a reaction out of me now. Whereas like before, a lot of people read a headline like government passed blah 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 bill, or something along those lines, and they'd get like really stressed and freaked out, and like they'd be like, they'd need a drink or something because they're just like, oh my god, like this is gonna make everything so much worse and shit. Like none of that stuff affects me. But like hearing about like what was another headline I seen? It was like something about dolphins or something, like can't remember. But like like normal shit just like sticks out to me, and I'm just like, oh, that's news. Like I'm back again. Hurrah! Hurrah again, Scout Sparrow. Painting goo 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 Goo, goo. Where was I? Ah, yes. Mario's little shotgun there. That's where I was. Painting, goo, goo, goo. I'll do today's phrase. I'll do the phrase of the day in between Dancing with Demons and Raving Goof. So I haven't forgotten about phrase of the day. And we have a phrase of the day. But you must be patient. Many peas on PEINTEINGU. Paying for PEINTEINGU. Patience for PEINTEINGU. Please, PEINTEINGU is one of the pieces painting. Is people being like, please, PEINTEINGU, stop talking and PEINTEINGU. That's why I play the music, you know? Even if I'm just sitting here talking shit, at least there's still something going on in the background. Pardon me while I fix my royal rag and have a sip of agua. Ah, glorious agua. Takes a lot of time and focus, but I do prefer um, putting black outlines on most things because they'll stand out better, both in real life and on stream. Painting, goo goo, goo goo. Okay. What color was I gonna do her again? Yeah, I'll do her tan, and I'll make her like a fucking purple-headed fucking freak. Um, the other one's gonna be Aryan. I'll give this one a fucking afro. Be hilarious. Um, so hard to stay focused when you have so many things to painting. Okay. Uh, I'll do. Yeah, I'll match their wings with their dresses. That's what I'll do. I'll do like blue accents on the blue one, purple accents on the purple one, so on and so forth. Still have to go back in and redo his medals. And, right. Tan color for the tan bitch. Just thinking how funny that'd be actually if you just like had a load of fucking fucked up looking fairies that were like fairly demonic looking but still looked like fairies and called them farpies. Like, just have a moment in an anime or something where it's just like, oh no, they're coming. It's like, who? The farpies. Like, wait. Wait. Painting goo. Painting goo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Painting goo. Not quite what I wanted. I want like a orangey yellow, not orange. A little bit more yellow, less orange. I suppose that'll do for the moment, and then I can go back in later and mix it up, blend it in, do some patterns. Make the wings a bit more interesting looking. Paint. Paint wings. Shit. I smacked my elbow off the fucking table. I feel like the worst thing to do with it when I'm trying to paint is like smack me funny bone out. Like, oh. How many times in your whole life have you like proper hit your funny bone in your elbow? Like to the point where you're just like, oh, like rubbing it and all. Like it was like years ago when I was a kid, I hit my funny bone like real bad, and like I think it was in my friend's ma's car on the way to school or something, and I like turned around to like, I think she asked me to get something out of the boot or something, and they had one of them cars where it was like if she didn't have the cover on the thing, like you could just like lean over and like grab shit out of the boot if you're in the back seat. I like turned around like real quickly, and I think I like smacked my elbow off the metal stud thing that connects the headrest to the seat. And like I just remember being like, oh, like just like clutching my elbow, like, and it's such a horrible like numb sensation, but at the same time like this throbbing pain, like like if you ever like clashed shins with someone. When I was doing Thai boxing, oh my god, oh that's one of the most painful things that you'll ever experience. Like the most painful thing I've ever experienced is nerve pain, like tooth pain, like nerve pain in your head with your teeth. Right, it's the worst pain I've ever experienced. Next to that, though, like clashing shins with someone is pretty bad. Like, Like it was so bad. Like it's one of those things that's like, your whole body, like, even though the pain is localized to a fairly small area, you feel it in your whole body. Like it's like your whole body is a bell, and you just got rung. Like ding, like so bad, like vibrating with the pain. Yeah, I don't know why they call it the funny bone. It should be called you bastard bone. Yeah, like when you smack it, you're like, oh my god, like it's so bad. Like I think it's fascinating how there's like certain parts of your body that like aren't necessarily like, they're not like vital or whatever. Like, um, but if you like hit them right, like you get the reaction, the nerve, the like what would be the term there? The fucking not nervous. The nerve reaction, is that just like the your nervous system, your nervous system's reaction to certain things is just fascinating. Like we getting hit in the liver in a fight or something. Like seeing guys take a liver shot. It's like you could, if you could end a fight with a liver shot, do it. Do you know what I mean? Like why the fuck not? Like, do you know what I mean? Like most guys always have their hands up here anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like people, lots of fighters sleep on that, and the fighters that don't, like, really, they do really well. Like if they are conscious, like, because I get it, like, like in the moment while you're fighting, like even heavy, like even you don't even have to do heavy sparring. You could just be sparring, and like you get so in the moment and so in flow that you're not thinking, you're just doing and stuff. Like, so it can be hard to like in flow remember certain techniques, certain rules, and so on and so forth. Like, but just remembering to every so often just mix it up to the body, like, because a lot, like, one of the things I noticed quite early on when I was getting into UFC and like watching combat sports and stuff like that, like, is like a lot of fighters kind of suck. There's like the really good fighters, and then there's like the rest of the fighters. And the rest of the fighters, like, would still like butcher your average guy because they're like a professional fighter. But like they're actually not that great. Like it's one of the reasons why Anderson Silva was such a like phenomenon in fighting sports at like when he was at his peak. Cause like he was making other fighters look really bad, Whereas like most fighters to the audience for a long time, he'd be like, oh, this is a good fighter, and this guy's a really good fighter, and this is gonna be a good fight. And like the good fight that they're talking about is like fucking, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember that. Like fucking Dan something. I can't even remember. But it's like just two lads like fucking single collar tying each other, just poking the mouth off each other, and they're like, oh yeah, great fight. Like it's like, it's not the same as like watching a guy who's like so good that he can like bob and weave out of strikes and hit you while he's doing it, and like hit you while he's moving backwards, and like hit you with kicks that like are quite flashy and like not that, like, they're difficult to pull off and be effective, like, and stuff, like, and like trip you up and shit in a moment and stuff. Like John Jones is that good. Like, like he kicked fucking Cormier in the head, and while Cormier was like trying to react, he just kicked him in the legs. Like that's that like predatory instinct in the moment to be like, oh, I've hurt him. Okay, I'll do this. Oh, now not only is he hurt and discombobulated, like, or not only is he hurt now, but now he's discombobulated as well. Like, like most fighters, they just keep swinging, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you won't see this like. It's like when you get so good at flow and you're so calm and you're so comfortable in a situation like that, that provides you an option and an opportunity to become creative and to take your time and to think about things, which is how you get like climactic fight ending scenarios like that, where like they're like facing you off or something like, and then he just throws a front kick out of nowhere and just like knocks the dude out. Like, it's like, or Conor McGregor's fucking fight between Aldo wasn't even a fight. They come out, they're like finding their distance, and then like Conor just like faints a bit, and Aldo just runs head on to a counter punch. Like, like those are the really like high level split second decisions that lead to highlight reels, like, and famous photos in the moment, like that one of Muhammad Ali towering over that other fighter. Can't remember which one it was, but it's like, that's real fighting to me, is like an attempt to display the highest level of skill, Whereas a lot of fighting these days is just like human cockfighting, They just pay two guys a lot of money, just go in and try and kill each other. Which is not what it should be, in my opinion, Like, granted, you should be trying to incapacitate your opponent. But, like, I think like, if you're going to have fighting as a form of entertainment, the most entertaining fights are fights where the two guys are like really fucking good, and they're not trying to kill each other, they're trying to beat each other, Like, fair enough, you might throw a head kick or a hook with the intention to like fucking kill him, like that's how hard you're throwing it. But like, you tend to not actually want to throw strikes like that in a fight, You'll telegraph too much. You might miss and overcommit and put yourself in a bad situation, like, Now I'm just rambling about fighting. I do love fighting, though. Love fighting, martial arts, talking about martial arts, talking about fighting styles, weaponry, combat in general. If you frequent this stream, you've probably noticed. It's one of the many things that I can ramble on about ad nauseum. Another thing that I could ramble on about ad nauseum is animals. I used to be fascinated by anacondas. Like pythons in general, but like boa constrictors and stuff like that, but like mainly anacondas. I was just like, oh my god, this massive thing just slithers about the place, and then when it sees something, it just like boom, and just coils around it and just slowly over like hours just like suffocates it and swallows it whole. It's like one of the most like simultaneously terrifying but like fascinating animals I'd ever come across. Like, these things are fucking like jungle demons, like. Like watching an anaconda fucking attack and swallow a capybara. Of course, there's like, especially when you're younger, there's a part of you like, oh no, the cute furry thing's being murdered by the evil like snake. You do get to a stage though, what I did anyway, where you just have an appreciation for like how it does the things that it does, and like, like the bioengineering involved in a creature like that. Like anacondas are fucking terrifying, man. Like I think I'd like, if you were to ask the question, like, what would you rather, like if you were definitely gonna go into like the, what are they called, the it's on the tip of my tongue, the mangroves. If you're going to go into the mangroves in a place like Africa or Australia or something, and where you would likely come across something like a large crocodile or large alligator or an anaconda, it's like, what would you rather be eaten alive by like a croc or a gator or a fucking anaconda, man, I take the croc and gator all day. You know, like that thing would like drown you and rip you apart, and like you die from blood loss way quicker than like getting snatched up by an anaconda. Well, like if you got snatched up by the anaconda in water, you'd probably drown pretty quickly. But like, just imagine being unfortunate enough to get caught out in the open in long grass or something by an anaconda, and this thing just slowly crushes you and just starts like swallowing you from the fucking head and all. Like, I've seen that before actually. It's like they start at the feet with certain animals and then start at the head with other animals depending on the animal, like to get past horns and stuff. And I think if an anaconda tries to swallow a man especially, but a person in general, head first, they won't be able to get past your shoulders. They can't open their mouth wide enough. But if they get you feet first, they have more of a chance of just like stretching when they get to your shoulders, because they kind of can work their way up slowly, like. But if they're just at your neck, they can't just like stretch all around you. Like, it's mad. Like, it's so crazy. Like, they found, like, I've seen images where they find like a fucking crocodile, like after like bursting out of an anaconda and shit. Like an anaconda tried to swallow a crocodile, and the crocodile like ripped out of it and shit. Like, mad stuff. Was it listing? Yeah, it was listing, was it? That's how I thought I was, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. It would have been an honor to meet my end by Gustav. Talk about him. Oh my god, that thing's fucking huge, man. It's like one of the biggest crocodiles ever, like, recorded or seen multiple times. Like, they tried to catch him a few times. Fuck that. Like, imagine if they'd actually caught him, like. Gustav. Like, what a name. Brilliant name for a fucking huge crocodile. That thing, like, his armor, he was so big that his armor was so thick that, like, they put rifle rounds in this nigga and, like, they wouldn't pierce his fucking armor. They wouldn't pierce his hide. Like, how crazy is that? That thing's hide was so hard and thick that he could literally take rifle rounds to the head and back, and like, he'd be grand. Like, lands on the fucking, like, they're on the, like, you know, the, what would you call it? Like, not the beach, they're on the shore, the bank of a river. Yeah, they'd be like on the bank of like this river section or whatever. Was it in the? I can't remember if it was the fucking, what's that thing? The Nile? I can't remember if he was a Nile croc, or if it was another, like, it was a very famous river though, very famous like section of a river. Might have been the Nile. I can't remember. But this dude was so big, like he was significantly larger than the rest of the crocodiles. Like, to the point where, like, when you did see Gustav, you're just like, oh my god, like, what the fuck? Like, he looked like a monster. It didn't look like it's like, oh, there's a crocodile. Jesus, they're pretty big, like, you know. And then you see loads of them, and you're like, all right, yeah, crocodiles are pretty big, like, you know, like 6 foot, 7 foot. There's a 10-footer, like, you know, fucking Jesus. There's a 15-footer. That guy's really big, like. And then you see Gustav, and it's kind of like, my god, what is that? Like he was the size of a bus. Like, the thing was just fucking like, so, like, I've heard rumors that they think he's still alive and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love stuff like that. Like I don't think the Loch Ness monster exists, but I'd say there's a high possibility that there was a large creature in that thing for a long period of time, and maybe it isn't anymore. It died, or like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a subterranean aqua tunnel that like leads in and out of Loch Ness because it's so big, like, and like Scotland is an island, like Scotland's on England, which, or the UK, the island of the United Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. So like that would make sense, like, do you know what I mean? Like that would be like under, because like there's shit like that everywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you want to see some really cool stuff? Like look up like massive underwater caves and tunnels and shit in Latin America. It's like one of the most like places like Florida and shit like that. Like there's just these fucking unbelievably massive tunnels and fissures and just these like caves that go right under most continents, Like I think we're going to see some fucking crazy shit in a few years, because like I've said this before on stream. I had an inkling for a while there that like whole cities or whole sections of cities might actually just disappear in sinkholes. And they'll say whatever, they'll explain it, like, chances are they'll turn around and be like, oh, climate change, or like some shit like that, like, But I think what it actually is a combination of stuff like, you have these like rogue government agencies and shit that dig like huge underground bases, and then the military do it as well. The military just like straight up build huge underground bases and locations. So there's a lot of subterranean digging that is like not known to the public that could easily result in shitloads of sinkholes. But then you also have the other shit that's like totally natural, where you have all these like volcanoes and subterranean, like, aquifers or whatever they're called. Like there's like, like there's the impression that like water is like at the coast. Do you know what I mean? Like the seas are like out there, especially if you're landlocked. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we have to go to the beach, we have to drive for hours or some shit, or the coast is like hours away. How do you think people have wells? Do you know what I mean? Like there's water everywhere. It's not just like 70% of the Earth's surface is what. Yeah, that's what it looks like, But like water's fucking everywhere. It's like beneath us and goes through the land in veins and all this stuff. Like, and I think there's a high possibility that these like elites know that like there's cataclysmic events going to happen at certain times and shit like that. So they're just constantly preparing for shit and all. Like I'm still very suspect of why they took a massive electrical, it's not an EMP, but it's like the world's largest electromagnet or electromagnetic power generator or some shit like that. Like, I think it's the world's largest electronic magnet, like electronic powered magnet, So it just gives off like a huge magnetic field, like huge static field. And they moved it to someplace in France a few years ago. And I heard not that I heard some recent gravy, but like I have heard a few things and watched a few things in shows and had a few like, conspiracy like gravy sinks where like allegedly, alchemically speaking, what would be discerned as like demonic voices or like prophecies or like, hearing stuff and all, or ghosts. Scientists refer to those things as ultra low frequencies, and apparently things like EMPs and electromagnetic weaponry and like, ultra low vibrations and certain sounds and shit like that can interfere with and modulate and fuck with ultra low frequencies. I have a weird feeling that the demonic realm is like on its way and like trying to break out, and like, those rumors behind like CERN and that like huge tunnel they dug and like these 14-kilometer long fucking rings that are like allegedly just like smashing atoms together to like figure out the Big Bang Theory and all. I think that's all like a cover for what they're actually doing, and I think they might actually be trying to set up either gates or the ability to block gates spiritually, like from the ether and shit, like dimensionally and stuff. Like it could be both. You know, you could have a group of people who are trying to create these huge electromagnetic circles, halos, underground in certain locations to like almost staunch the bleeding of the dark realm, you know, of the demonic realm. And then it could also be that there's like other groups and shit that are like using the same technology to open doors, you know, to let all that shit in. How it looks and feels to me is like we currently live in a time where like the place is run by demons. That's what it feels and looks like. But I think there might be a chance that, like, when you actually get up to the top, at least in the human realm, I think when you actually get to the top, I think there's a group of like these white hats or whatever, these like, you know, these noble people who are doing some stuff that may appear to be fucked up and dark and all, but like if you were to actually sit down and have them explain it to you, if they didn't do those things, shit would be a hell of a lot worse. Like I have a pretty, not 100%, but like I have a pretty firm belief that that's how all this shit works. Is that like there are people who have been entrusted with the knowledge of the spiritual realm and all its happenings and powers and alchemical knowledge and all this shit. But the responsibility, it's like the Men in Black. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the Men in Black are a real thing, but they're not like, you know, like the fucking movie. There's just people out there, groups, who know the reality of the realm and have been entrusted with safeguarding that knowledge and keeping an eye on shit and like defending against certain things and like working for angels and shit or whatever, like do-gooder forces from the etheric realm, like. But then just like anything else in life, like you have the good and the bad. Like, so you have the people who are working for the demons, and then you have the people who are working against the demons and they're working for the angels or whatever like that. Like, and as far as most people are concerned, is just you just see government bodies and like armies and militaries and countries and all. Like, all of that's just like theater. All of that's just a smokescreen. But it's also used to cull the herd, you know? Vaccines, war, all that shit. Like, that's a way of keeping the numbers low and eliminating certain archetypes of people. And like, that makes a lot of sense to me now, that like if you think of it from a farming perspective, like Owen says, a lot of it makes sense to me. You have your bread and circuses, you have your milk, you know, you have your fucking feed, and then you have your perimeter fence, like, do you know what I mean? And then you have to move them certain, like, I have a feeling that we could experience a massive migration very soon. I think it could get so cold so quickly in certain places. Like, apparently a volcano just erupted in Iceland. And I know, like, Iceland is a volcanic place and all, like, but like I've felt some weird shit, like, you know, like disturbances in the force and stuff. You know, when your intuition is just like, oh, hold on a minute now. Like, I've seen and heard and felt some weird shit lately, where I'm like, I think there might be a chance that like there is actually like another ice age coming for certain places, and like it's going to get so cold so quickly in certain countries that just like huge swaths of people are just going to have to like up sticks and move, you know? Like, I think there's a chance that like something cataclysmic could happen in America, and then America will blame it on someone else again, like just like they did with the Twin Towers, where like a super volcano like Yellowstone or something will go off, and like a lot of people in America get taken out overnight, and a lot of Americans just have to flee to like Latin America and Europe and like Canada and like just like all over the place now, because it's like utter destruction and like huge dark clouds blocking out the sun and all this shit. Like, but then it'll be spun narratively as like, oh, somebody bombed us with a nuke, you know? Like, I have a feeling something like that could be coming because, like, there's all of this doubt about nukes now. So, like, a natural disaster will occur that they know about, that they won't warn people about. And then they'll blame it on a nuke and not the natural disaster. So you already have your whole, like, false binary narrative, like, oh, the truth is this, the government's lying. Like, like, you'll just have another narrative to go by and all, like. Because whatever about World War III, like, I think, like, I don't think we're going to see. I agree with Owen. Like, I don't think we're going to see a whole, like, boom, 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 bang, 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 like, people shooting the shit out of each other. Like, maybe. Doesn't feel like it, though. I feel like something's just going to happen and we're all going to see it on telly, just like it happened in 2001 with the Two Towers. I think something's going to happen somewhere, like, and it's just going to be, everyone's going to be watching it going, like, oh my God. And I have a feeling it could either be France or, like, something's telling me something's going to happen in France. I don't know why. Just a few things have stood out to me, like, And then they moved that huge fucking magnet to France and all a few years ago. Part of me just feels like something's going down. But then another theory of mine is that something comes out of the water like a fucking kaiju and starts murdering everyone. Get your mobile phone out and ring the fire brigade. Hello, I'm in an anaconda's bell. Imagine, like that's fucking hilarious. Like, imagine being still conscious, just being like, help me. Like, oh, that'd be horrible. I remember a Black Pilled episode a year ago where he talked about Jews opening a portal to hell in a Catholic convent in California in the 70s. It's messed up and fascinating at the same time. I know, like, did you ever see that fucking Swedish thing that they did a few years ago? It was like, I think it was in Sweden, where like they like drilled through a mountain and made this tunnel, like a road going through this tunnel. And like the opening, the ceremony they had for it was like fucking pagan and demonic looking as fuck. Like don't get me wrong, some of it was kind of cool, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it was pure weird. Like, it was like you just opened up a road, like, it's like a tunnel going from it's for commercial reasons, is what you're saying, but how you're presenting it and what you're doing to like do the grand opening and all is like kind of fucking weird, man. Like all the fucking, like, the deer skulls and the horns and the fucking, just the way they're dressed and the makeup and all, and it's like hitting the drums and shit, like, behold the tunnel. Like, it's just so like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, it's funny shit, like, oh God. Very much. Check it out sometime if you want. Yeah, like, I might start doing that on PEINTEINGU. I might start just bringing up interesting shit on screen. I don't know if I'll like share my screen or like I'll put it in a little window or something, like, um because I like, part of me wants to do that on paint. Like, it'll also give me an opportunity to paint other shit, like, Um but I'd love to like just take random rabbit holes for a day sometimes, like, fucking like dive into my parasite theory and look up a load of parasites and, like, like just how I want to do phrase of the day, which I will do in a moment. But then I'm actually going to call it because the female sent me a text. She has her NCT, so we're going to get her car NCT'd. So I'm going to wrap it up now. But I will do the phrase of the day before I leave. But yeah, like, just like we're doing the phrase of the day, and I want to like learn a bit of Japanese, like genuinely learn a bit of Japanese, like, instead of just taking the piss. There's a few things that I want to do like that. Like I want Painting Goo to actually provide some sort of like service instead of just like entertainment or keeping you occupied or giving you something to listen to or like something to look at or something to laugh about. Like I'd also like it to like be slightly educational, which in itself is fucking hilarious. Like, come to Painting Goo, learn to better yourself. Like, be fucking brilliant. But anyway, today's phrase of the day, the phraseu of the day. Hold on, I get the screenshot. Where is it? Right. So, Bandana wa kanazaru haru koto o warasanade kudasai, which means always remember to wash your bandana, which I actually must do soon enough. And I don't know if the kimono is going to survive the washing machine because the threads on this bitch are loose as fuck. But we shall see. But I'm going to leave it there this time. So, hold on. Hold on while I descend. Descending. Descension complete. I shall leave with the Raving Goo tunes. It should not just be the sultry sound of my voice that leads us out of Painting Goo this fine Woden's day. It shall also be the Raving Goo. Fuck you, you animated princess bit. Oh my god, what in the name of God was that? This fucking slug just came out of the bitch's neck. Jesus Christ. I thought the things I painted on Painting Goo were fucking fucked up looking. Goddamn.
Artificial intelligence.
My name is Iran, and I am here to con your ass. Fuck you, Iran. Right. So, I hope you have enjoyed Ingu. But this is the end of Painting Goo for today. So, if you have any other, you will pay for Painting Goo. Link in description. If you want to buy my merchandise, link also in description. More merchandise, new merchandise is on the way. Keep an eye out for the new merchandise. So, in the meantime, be good, be true, be beautiful. And I will see you at the same time, same place, same high-octane painting energy and ranting energy. And I shall see you tomorrow. In the meantime, God bless. And remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any honor, you will pay for Painting Goo. In the meantime, enjoy the tunes. And God bless. Do some good. Create some shit. Don't just consume. Produce. I leave you with those words. And these amazing beats. Don't forget today's phrase. Bandana wa kanazaru aru koto o warasade kudasai. Always remember to wash your bandana. We'll see you all tomorrow.